Welcome to the third episode of Don't Be a Fool in Hunt Showdown. Let's use our overthinking superpowers to break down and analyze a DUOS match in heavy rain with my mate. In this match, I am MMR5 and matey is MMR4, but usually we're both on 5. In the debriefing you will see that we run match MMR4 and our opponent's 4.5. Since we are playing DUOS, it's a pretty fair match, as far as MMR goes at least. I am sitting on quite some footage from the event, and even though the event is over now, I think from a basic gameplay perspective you should still be able to get some value or insights out of it. Let me know if you think otherwise, so I can adapt. It has been quite a long round, with some sitting phases, but I will cut out those moments while trying to keep the course of events comprehensible. This video is a little success story with some satisfying headshots, but also a showcase of the importance of guarding a dead body and of analyzing engagements in the heat of the moment. We will also talk about the problem with re-peeking, which is the arch enemy of every player, and about how barring a door can clutch the match. Let's dive into the thought process of this 7 kills 2v2v2 encounter. Well then, let's go. We are spawning at Lower the Sull in light rain. My mate is running a Spark Sniper with a conversion pistol, dum-dum ammo and fanning. I am on a Battieri post, new army FMJ, decoys, chokes, small shots and an ammo box. For perks I bring Iron Sharpshooter, Bulwark, Magpie, Doctor, Physician and Resilience. We were trying to evade some sound traps, but a coincidence with a yellow barrel next to a chicken coop ended those efforts quite early in the game. I might be sneaky sometimes, but at the end of the day, I'd rather activate some crows and horses instead of crouching for 20 minutes straight. Of course, with this behavior you might get ambushed quite often, but boy, winning an ambush against you is one of the best feelings of the whole game in my opinion. And on the other side, when there is no ambush set up for you, you actually save time by being loud and reckless. So for this particular case, we are starting off loud, but as you will see, are sneaky when needed. You need to find a mixture of both that fits you and your playstyle over time. I just wanted to share this clue pickup scene with you to talk about unusual ways to get into a building. There are countless not so well known vaulting opportunities all over the bayou. Some of these you will find on your own, some are a bit more tricky. And for the real crazy ones, you should probably watch Gunsmack's content for example. His parkour skills are jaw-dropping. It's also important to consider different ways into a building when you have to surprise enemies inside or need to get around traps. So learn some alternatives that you can choose from if needed. In this little scene we find Roger, but we actually don't find it. Without a clue you could just run into the beast, won't have white versus red information and might face a big disadvantage. Imagine there are other hunters around and they will see that the boss turned red, so they will look for you, while you don't even get the info that the boss is here at all. Audio helps to hear the boss even if you're missing the mentioned info. For our match it was good to know Roger's location, just in case we would need to restore health at some point. Heavy rain, open range and missing intel on any hunters in this match, we decide to leave Roger alone and find the PvP at the big bounty. Finally, fooling around at Forked River, we hear gunshots of an ongoing fight. So we know where to go and we start planning our approach. The more shots we hear from different directions, the clearer it gets for us to decide for the angle we take at Weeping. We see that the clue has been taken. Not a big deal, but another confirmation that we are on other hunters' tracks. Now we hear more shots, some in the approximate direction of the white house on the hill in Weeping, so we know where to go. We heard a label and an uppercut, so long ammo is involved. Always good to know. One of the shots was pretty far to the right. We assume hunters in the woods across the river on the eastern side of the White House. This makes us go even further to the right to make sure we're coming from behind, sandwiching another team. Evading the ducks and the water devils, we finally take the railway bridge to join the fight. Worth to mention that we are not just both running through the wagons. I will climb the ladder to get a better overview, This way, if we encounter enemies, we can both engage without blocking each other's views or bodies. I still use the wooden part of the bridge to run, instead of the wagon's metal roof. It might be raining, but metal is such a distinct sound, it would catch more attention than wood. Voila! There is an advocate in the woods so that I can see pretty clearly thanks to the fog. I am pinging him for my mate, but I don't shoot. Even if it is not that big of a range, my mate has a sniper scope, so his chance for a headshot is usually higher. And to be honest, the advocate knows the importance of that wiggle, as we can see. By the way, I did see the one running from left to right towards the bridge, or actually behind it. And I saw the one moving from the railway into the woods from right to left. I still keep my focus on the target, but I tell my mate and even ping it briefly for him. My mate shoots and body tags the advocate. I miss my first shot, but thanks to my higher position, I am able to add another shot and down the advocate. Now it's time to leave my spot. The other hunters will probably know that we are a new duo joining the fight, and experienced ones will know our guns as well. We are jumping into the woods ourselves now, and out of nowhere there were these strange shot sounds. We couldn't locate the shooter, but after some guessing, we realized it was no explosive stuff, but a crossbow with shot bolts. And finally we can make out the black coat on the roof. You can even see him handling a crossbow. Feel free to call me lucky. Shotbolt is no more. Look at that shotbolt impact though. That was super close. Nice shot. My mate can see the black coat corpse and keeps an eye open for the res. And there is the res. My mate kills the res black coat and long ammo helps me to hit the reser through roof and wall while he is jumping off. We don't expect him to be dead, but he will not try to res again that soon. What might look pretty strange here is actually me trying to be not an easy target while still managing to get the ammunition of the uppercut for my Berthier. So I'm jumping back and forth and trying to use the gun and exchange ammo and get back into cover again. Yes, to be honest, we're playing it pretty safe here, wiggling in the woods like the advocate was doing. But it seems to be my lucky day. I can spot the one in the tower. Afterwards I think it's the reser of the black coat and remove him right away with another juicy Berthier headshot. My mate is informing me that he was hearing strange sounds from his right side. He thinks maybe some doors have been opened, maybe some wooden steps. And here just something you are probably already very aware of, but just in case. If you think you heard something in Hunt Showdown, you most likely did hear something. Trust your instincts. If something sounds strange, there might be someone lurking up on you. But to save your time, we can't find anybody right now. Still, we spent 2 to 3 minutes checking the perimeter. But let me tell you this, turns out in the end that we were just not looking good enough, if you know what I mean. Hunt is often a game of patience. Since nobody's picking up the bounty and we can't find or hear anybody else anymore, we start to approach slowly, still scanning for more enemies and basically looking out for a possible mate of the advocate. And we can identify at least 2 more corpses. are entering the White House, climb the roof and see the Blackcoat still dead. Again, I assume that his mate was the headshot in the upper level of the main building. So it's time for picking up the bounty. Since we are not sure if the building is clear, we check for traps, throw some decoy and bayonet charge inside. This can go terribly wrong versus a shotgun behind the corner, but you will have to take risks if you want to end the camping menace finally. The first scan instantly shows movement towards the Advocate's corpse, and it seems to show 2 orange lights, so Advocate has been rest it seems. We are trying to pick the aiming peeking solution versus some stealthy guys in the forest in heavy rain. That's kind of foolish, even though we have long ammo and a sniper. I re-peek too often, cause I'm a fool. There's my uppercut headshot lesson. Luckily I died kinda resable and I have resilience, so my mate is insta-resing me. Now let's get into the building quickly. Important. When you get rest, try to wiggle instantly and look down to lower your head for your enemies. Climbing the tower for a new position and looting another second of darkside was actually a good choice. We not only double tag the bright skin in the high grass, we tell each other to attack so it's a kill, but I also managed to hit the Advocate once after a last scan. You would actually assume he's dead as well, but this is Hunt Showdown and it is event time, so of course he's still alive. And now we make a mistake. My mate can't locate the dead body, so he can't hold it. I could at least grasp the position, but I decide to leave the tower because the Advocate hits pretty good. And while I am running to the White House for another angle, the Advocate must have rested his mate again. So for the sake of keeping up the fight, not letting them rest for too long, we decide to push a bit. Or let's say to go into active search. To shorten the story a bit, it seems like they were waiting for the heavy rain to make their move. So my mate scans them still in the woods, which is why I feel somewhat safe around the White House. Oh, a quick side note here. Even when doing something standard like killing a grunt, make sure to move in an unpredictable pattern. You can see that when I kill the male grunt with a rifle knife, I melee and instantly pull my head down and to the left. Should they be aiming at us, it will give them a hard time to hit my head. And all of a sudden, we realize they were circling to north-northeast. We just take notice due to that explosive they threw. I think it maybe was a sticky bomb because of the quite long fuse. We decide to retreat, but my mate tells me he's bleeding, so he's going to stop that bleed behind that suboptimal cover, which is why I tried to cover aim the ridge of the hill. After we managed to get into the main building again, always check trap spots and just jump if you're unsure, we tried to take up position for a nice little final shootout. Let me introduce you to my final foolishness. We are shooting at each other, the enemy shows himself quite often, and I even managed to hit him twice, but obviously not enough for a kill. What I don't realize, I only see the advocate all the freaking time. And after scanning with my last second, I painfully realize why. He is just below me and pushes in the right moment. I try to run, but it's too late. Rival slugs put me down. While I'm still trying to realize what happened, my mate kills the Monroe with fanning. And now it gets a bit crazy. While my mate is killing, the advocate is pushing fast up the metal ramp. And he told me afterwards that he accidentally closed and barred the door leading to us while reloading. And this exact fat finger moment led to blocking the advocate's push just in time. While the advocate needs to use the catwalk now for the window, my partner manages to reload 3 bullets. He cancelled the rest and conversion fanning seals the deal here. Well played everybody. Nice distraction, nice push and nice carry. Now, what could I have done differently? I guess quite some, but let's just ask. Why didn't I try an elevated position again? Why didn't I scan earlier? Why didn't I bayonet charge instead of running away from the Monroe? Well, somebody had to be the fool that day. I mean, we came out on top, but not because I was smart. So that's it, my friends. GG's to everybody. We could go for Rodjaw, but to be honest, this match already took long enough. We were done for this round. We left without the wild bounty. While the debriefing unfolds, let's recap a little bit. What did we learn today? Practice trigger discipline, but also shoot when you think you can hit. Trust your ears. Be paranoid, but only in Hunt Showdown, okay? And if you already brought it, just use your effing bayonet. I hope you've had some fun watching this. Looking forward to your feedback. Leave a like and a sub if you dare to. Thank you and bye bye.